Hello everyone, in this video I'll be showing you a Circle of Stars Druid multi-class with the Light Cleric and Baldur's Gate 3. What's great about these is they both use Wisdom and they're both a support style class. So I'll be showing you the best combination. I've tried out a bunch of them and I found one that I think just works way better than the others. So we'll first start off with the Druid here because this gives us Shillelagh, which is super useful, or Shillelagh if you pronounce it that way. What's great about this is it allows you to use your spellcasting modifier for attack rolls. You can use this on a torch in Act 1, which is a very reliable source of damage because then it changes to a 4 to 11 bludgeoning plus additional 1d4 of fire damage. I also like to just go with Thornwhip for pulling creatures closer to us. And for our ability scores, we're going to be focused mainly around our dexterity, wisdom, and constitution stats. So we can go with something like this, going with 15 or 16 dexterity, 14 constitution, 10 intelligence, 16 wisdom, and 10 charisma. So that'll be the stat spread there. I'll also be covering gear as well as combat in this video to show you how to best utilize it. So into Act 2, level 2, this is when we get to choose our subclass. So with this, we're going to go obviously Circle of Stars. This gives us guidance and the guiding bolt as both a star map and a spell version of it. The guiding map is a unique resource to this. And we get our starry forms, which are a big component of this. So we get the archer form, we get the chalice form, and we get the dragon. Between these three, the dragon's probably the strongest, but it is nice because they all give bonus action abilities. Now, the only fortunate thing is these don't get upgraded until you reach level 10 of Star Druid, so this makes it hard to multi-class. So I tried a bunch of different combinations and show you the best that works here. So now the Cleric spell list does overlap a bit with the Druid, so we do have to be mindful of some of the spells we take, like Create Water and Healing Word are two overlap spells. We can get Ice Knife. We can get it's nice to have Create or Destroy Water at some point, because if you have a Lightning caster, that can be useful. Healing Word, obviously nice to pick up down to allies. Fog Cloud can be pretty useful early game, and Long Strider is also nice too. Now we also get another selection here, and we can always swap out spells at any time. This now gives us access to level 2 spells, so we can take like Hold Person and Spike Growth. We also get like Moonbeam too. We could use Sanctuary Moonbeam combination, which is kind of a fun one that's a little cheesy. But we'll leave it at that for our spells. You can also swap off Healing Word and take something like the Heat Metal if you'd like to. So we'll roll with that. This is where I think it's best to actually change out and take the Cleric, because if we take 9 levels of the Cleric, we get some really, really effective abilities, and it makes us a very good support. So we can get Spirit Guardians, we can get Destructive Wrath there, we get a lot of great things. So we'll be going with the Light Cleric. This gives us fire spells, so we can get Fireball and Wall of Fire. At level 1, we get Burning Hands and Fairy Fire. And the subclass feature Warding Flare, which shields ourselves using a reaction to oppose disadvantage on an attack roll against us. So with this, we're going to take, for cantrips, I'd recommend Toll the Dead's nice if there's something that's not resisting necrotic damage, Sacred Flame, and Bursting Sinew. Newest spell in patch 8. Now, we already got Guiding Bolt, so we don't need to take it. We can take Command. We already got Healing Word. Blast can be kind of nice. Sanctuary is also really useful, and we'll go Create Water. So, yeah, where this gets really good is with the Cleric spells, because there's some very useful ones from the Light Cleric here that do actually benefit the Druid. Now, at level 2, we get the Radiance of the Dawn, doing 2d10 radiant damage, and dispels magical darkness, turn undead, and our channel divinity. And for the spells we'll be taking, I guess Shield of Faith works well. This actually removes some of the other spells that we already had selected. It's kind of funny that it does that only at level 2. Into level 3, we get Light Domain spells, Flaming Sphere, and Scorching Ray, which is an awesome spell to have. And for this, we'll take our Spiritual Weapon. We already have Hold Person, and Aid is also a nice spell that we could take. The thing with Aid is you can actually use a free cast and give your entire team an extra bunch of health, which is so useful. We get another cantrip here, Resistance, I guess, and it removed the spells that we got last time. Blindness can be not a bad spell too, so we can roll with that. And for the feat, I'd recommend just boosting up your wisdom, as we want to be able to cast spells a little bit better. At level 5, we get Destroy Undead. Whenever we turn an undead, takes extra damage, and we get the Fireball spell. Alternatively, you can start with the Cleric and add in the Druid later, but this gives us our Fireball, which is really nice. Now for spells. There's actually a lot of them that we want at level 3, like Spirit Guardians, Glyph of Warding, and Mass Healing Word. Animate Dead is also kind of nice if you like to use zombies, and Revivify, also quite useful, so you could go with either of those as well. And at level 6, we get our subclass feature Improved Warding Flare. When enemy attacks an ally, you can use your reaction and impose disadvantage on the attack roll, so protecting our teammates. Again, similar, as I said earlier, this is a support role, so we want to fill that support. So we got Glyph of Warding, the sleep enemies, we'll take Revivify at this level again, filling the support. At level 7, you could also guess not take Revivify because there's other ways to do that. We get Guardian of Faith for our Cleric spell list, and we get Wall of Fire, which is really fun to have. We can always just upcast Fireball, though. It's another thing. Banish is another nice spell. This can send a target to another plane of existence, which is actually kind of useful and a good for a support class, so we're going to roll with that. At level 8, we get our Potent spell casting. You can add our Wisdom modifier to the damage you deal with Cleric cantrips, so that's good. Our Toll the Dead will get an additional Wisdom modifier on damage, which is now going to be a +5 with our ability score improvement. We'll also go with a spell here. I guess we can take Silence if we want to really be a good teammate. Warding Bond can also be kind of nice, but yeah, it's your choice there if you like to use Warding Bond or not. And level 9, this is what we want to go with because we get Destructive Wave, which does radiant damage and thunder damage there. And we also get the Flame Strike, which is another very powerful spell. So we get fire and radiant on both, or radiant on both of these, which is super useful. And we also get Insect Plague and other level 5 spells, which are nice. Like Planar Binding can be pretty useful. So we're going to roll with that. And I guess you could take Silence there. So Insect Plague, our best... the best option is probably Spirit Guardians for a concentration, but it's nice to have other options. So as for gear, we're going to be rolling with the Luminous Armor, and I have the, I know I'm going to get asked about this, the Amontator die on it from the Faerun Colors mod. It looks amazing like that. This creates a Radiant Shockwave whenever we deal Radiant damage, which we're going to do often because we got our arrows. I also like to have the Holy Lance Helm, which will do Radiant damage whenever we get a missed with an attack, because we're actually going to be making it so that the enemies miss us often. Also, the Coruscation Ring, which will deal Radiating Orbs whenever we target an enemy with a spell. And the Luminous Gloves, whenever the dealer deals Radiant damage, the target receives 2 turns of Radiating Orbs. So we can apply a ton of Radiating Orbs really easily. The Evasive Shoes are nice too, but we could also go with the Boots of Stormy Clamor here. Whenever the wearer deals in condition upon a hostile creature, they get 2 turns of Reverberation. So again, we're becoming an ultimate support with this. Ring of Protection to give us a decent armor class of 22. It's not the best armor class, but it's good enough. And we also have 135 health because of Amulet of Greater Health, which will hold our concentrations, which we're going to use on Spirit Guardians to further stack all our Radiating Orbs. I also want the Marka Heshker staff here because this can actually be very beneficial for us because of Kareska's favor. So when we use this, we get ourselves, I would recommend the Bolts of Doom. Reason being, with this, it'll give us a Chain Lightning spell, which we're not normally able to get, and Lightning Bolt, which if we have Create Water set up, that doubles the damage for upwards of 160 damage on that, which is really nice just to have. I know it doesn't fit the theming well, but I mean, a Druid can get Lightning spells, so can a Cleric, so we may as well roll with it. So what we want to do in terms of combat is have our Spirit Guardians up as much as possible, and I'll show you that here now. I guess the first thing you want to do is get into your Starry form as well, because this will give us the ability to cast and change it as well, but we get the Luminous Arrow, which will further stack our Radiating Orbs. Alright, before combat, I should have started with Spirit Guardians because this gives us our radiant damage that we'll apply our Radiating Orbs with. So we basically want to have this up and run around a lot because you'll see here whenever we do that, it can take enemies out like that. But the Radiating Orbs are going to stack not only Radiating Orbs, but Reverberation. So we got 4 stacked of Radiating Orbs just by walking by the target. Now they're mad and they're going to hit us, so we got to focus on a spell here because with our spells, we also apply Radiating Orbs, and we got Guiding Bolt for a easy resource spell because we got the 2-star maps there. But we can also do some pretty crazy stuff with our Scorching Rays because from this, we can also upcast our Scorching Rays. And the thing is, using a free cast of that, well, we're not likely to hit that target. I guess we have a disadvantage on all of our attacks. The thing is, this can stack Radiating Orbs pretty well too. So, boom, that actually took out 2 targets, perfect. And then applied Radiating Orbs to this target, which we can also apply further stacks of it by running into them. They now have a -8 to their attack rolls. I should have explained Radiating Orbs minus their attack rolls, so they're less likely to hit you, which is crazy. So yeah, that's really nice, and we'll just end our turn right there. I guess you could apply Sanctuary if you want to, or use a Spiritual Weapon. Spiritual Weapon's nice for tanking, so we can just summon that in right there, and we'll just end her off right there. So we're about to get critically hit, but the Warding Flare here is really nice. We can use that to basically make it miss. So that's the beauty of that. What's also nice is then if they're a melee attacker, we would have been able to apply the Holy Lance Helm's radiant damage on them, which is super nice to have. But that didn't unfortunately hit. They missed with a throwing attack and it stacked the Radiating Orb there, so that works too. Now the reason I chose the Maul is because you can daze targets with this weapon, and when they're dazed, you're going to be able to land your hold persons more likely if it ever hits an attack, which doesn't always happen, but they ran out of our Spirit Guardians, which is their foul mistake, because we're just going to be able to apply more Radiating Orbs, or they'll walk into it on their own for whatever idiotic reason. So we have to go protect our allies over there. They got hit with command. So what we can do is, since this is going to actually hit 2 enemies here, we may as well do that. Stacking the Radiating Orbs is always a good idea. So that got some Radiating Orbs on them. 6 and 6 on both. Crazy. And then we got to go protect our teammates. So we're going to run over here, see if we can hit them. Oh, we're just a hair short of that. But the beautiful thing is we got awesome spells like Destructive Wave here, which we can use to do the radiant damage version of that. And you're going to see here, Radiating Orbs for days if it doesn't take them out. So that's 6 stacks Radiating Orbs. If we were to run a little closer, we'd be able to hit them with further stacks of it. And we also got some more Radiating Orb damage with like Flame Strike there. So if you want to burn through your spell slots, this is a good way to use it. Unfortunately, I'll hit Shadowheart by doing that, so I'm not going to do that. But we also got some other spells that we can use, like our Star Map Guiding Bolt. So we may as well just use this, because this will apply advantage for the target that hits them next. So that is great. And we also stacked up 10 stacks of Radiating Orbs with that, which is perfect. And we also got Luminous Arrows here too to further stack our Radiating Orbs. So I forgot to use that last turn, but I guess I summoned in the Maul. So now both of those targets both have a -10 to their attack rolls, meaning we saved our teammates. And we also were able to apply our lightning charges on that enemy there. They missed, so we were able to hit them with the Holy Lance Helm and stack lightning charges. Kind of a funny interaction. Doesn't always work that way, but we got improved warding flare, so we can protect our ally that way. So boom, that still hit her unfortunately, but yeah, sometimes we do get lucky with that. It's cool as the Holy Lance Helm is actually a very interesting piece of gear. It's great for Radiating Orb builds, because when they miss you with an attack, we retaliate and deal radiant damage. It's perfect. And our hammer. Is it going to hit? Is it going to hit? Critical. Wow. So we're potentially going to knock them out by just running into them. Yep. Perfect. And maybe finish off the last one there. No, it wasn't enough, but it knocked them prone from the reverberation stack, so that's hilarious. So I guess for right now, we have 2 actions, so we can use one of our star maps here to apply a guiding bolt on them. And then what I think is best is, since we have a chain lightning, we may as well use a chain lightning, because our chain lightning is going to also apply Radiating Orbs. So boom, it's also likely to take out enemies like that. It took out 4 of them there. It's crazy, but if it didn't, it would have applied a lot of Radiating Orbs on them. So that is really nice. And then we may be able to finish them off with a Luminous Arrow here, which is crazy how powerful this is. And nope, it didn't, but we sacked for the reverberation. Now the thing is, with this class, the most powerful ability of it is reducing the enemy's attack rolls. So we're gonna finish them off just by running into them here. That was that. But yeah, as long as you're stacking up Radiating Orbs on as many targets as possible, using your bonus action for the Luminous Arrow, you're gonna have a lot of fun with this multi-class. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. I guess the biggest benefit of taking this is getting a useful bonus action ability. So that's one of the biggest things. The Cleric does have Sanctuary and Spiritual Weapon, but it's nice to be able to get a radiant damage attack to further stack a Radiating Orbs, making us a good support class. So I think it's pretty powerful. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Hit the subscribe button below if you haven't already, and I'll see you all in the next video.